George Donikian is about to utter his first words on 3AW.
I can remember Graham Kennedy putting me in, and he said to me, "You can shave your moustache off if you really want to."
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yes.
And what he didn't tell me was there was a camera pointing into the studio watching me do what I did. And Vizard, of course, thought they were about to start a new show on 7. They thought, what a beautiful gag we're going to go with this.
It was wonderful.
And they created, of course, a newsreader who not only shaved his mo, but his hair, his underarms, and all other regions.
Complete body wax.
You better believe it.
And back then you looked a bit like one of the Mario brothers, didn't you? Because
Super Mario.
Super Mario, yeah.
I was Super Mario.
Darkish in a way, wasn't it? Anyway.
Yeah.
I love your tit. For anybody watching on the webcam will notice George is wearing a... you can't see yourself. I don't actually have the studio camera or the studio monitor on because this is radio, as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
It's the theatre of the mind.
That's right. You're exactly right, George. You've got it. That's okay. And we'll hear from George very shortly. And by the way, if you want to have a chat with George, just to say how much you miss him on television or radio, give us a call, 96900 693.
Yes, or 131332.
That's the phone number to ring if you're living up in the Mulga.
Yes.
And we'll be back very shortly. It's 8:12.
Area is huge. It includes Geelong, Greater Melbourne, and both the Bellarine and Mornington peninsulas.
Or was that Peninsula? We'll ask the man. We'll ask the man who, allegedly, or I don't know, arguably is a great student of the English language, George Donikian, even though he is of Greek descent.
Australian of Greek Armenian heritage.
Oh, Armenian.
I've, since Greece went into recession, I've had to do some rebranding. My mother rang me and she said, "Your daughter suggests that you should rebrand." I said, "She's been talking to my wife."
Now, George, Cecile knew you were coming in, so she's sent in some tzatziki for you.
Man.
And a bit of hummus. How do you pronounce that?
Yeah, hummus.
And
very good.
A little bit of Melba toast. Just
amazing. This is beautiful.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
By the way, you're more than welcome.
And do I dip the Rocky Road into this as well?
Oh, the Rocky Road. No, that's for sweets. That's for later. That's for later, all right.
Okay.
But so all the best to you, George. That's compliments of Cecile.
Cecile is a gentle woman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were discussing last night, I can't remember whether we had the discussion on air or off air, but part of Steve Vizard's fabulous impersonations of you, when he was doing Fast Forward and you were doing Graham Kennedy's Coast to Coast.
Yes.
Part of that was your wonderful ability to pronounce everything correctly.
Oh, yes.
I have very strong memories of watching a news item that you were reading, and you mentioned the location that this news item was happening in, and it was Argentina. But you didn't...
Argentina.
That's it, yes. And that's the way
Buenos Aires.
How does
Not Buenos Aires.
How does it...
Buenos Aires.
Argentina.
And Argentina.
Argentina.
G is an H.
You see, but if you did that, if you were a regular newsreader and you did that, John Sorrell would come down and say, "Hey, what's all this BS? Mate, get rid of that."
I'm sorry. John Sorrell did ring and asked me to come down. And I said, no. Stupid me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there was nothing wrong with Sorrell, and there was no... Look, there was an affectation that people accused me of. And you've got to understand that in order to get some of the strange pronunciations correct, right? Yeah. And keep it in English, your mouth does strange little things, and sometimes you get caught out. And saying things like "Székes Vekerva," which is a great Hungarian word, or if it's Garmisch Partenkirchen in German, or if it's Greek or Armenian or whatever, to struggle to say the next word, which could be school, is very difficult.
Now, it's interesting.
And I didn't always make the journey.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because there's a golfer, and his name is Camilo
Villegas.
No, they call him Villegas, but it's Villegga.
Okay.
So I reckon it's Villegas.
It can be, no, it is Castellano, which is the Spanish that they speak in Argentina, but he's from Colombia.
Oh, I see. So
not Colombia, which we keep being told about. And I keep saying to him, "No, guys, get it right. There's the District of Columbia in America.
Yeah, Colombia. Right.
And there's the nation called Colombia. Colombia, which is very different.
Ah, see.
And he's a Colombian, so it's Villegas.
Villegas. Because every time they say it, I scream at the television, "No, you fool, it's Villegas, like tortilla."
Oh, tortilla. Yeah.
Now, my daughter Tiffany tells me, she said,
who should be obeyed more often than not.
Right. She tells me, lay this on George and see how he reacts. I was going to actually phone him, but he's in South Africa at the moment. Did you ever panel operate for Frank Holden?
I did. Oh my God! Is this going to? This is when we got caught out with a 10-second delay.
I have no idea. She just said, just mention it to him to see what his reaction is.
We were doing a rock and roll show with Glenn A. Baker, and Glenn had this great idea.
Which station?
The magnificent Today FM. No, it wasn't. No, I'm sorry. No, it was the one in the West. The brand new
2WS.
2WS.
That's right, yeah.
And it was a Saturday night rock and roll show, compliments of Glenn A. Baker, and he said to me, Donikian, I've got a great idea. We'll get Frankie J in, and we'll spin tracks and we'll take calls and do. I said, that's fine, it's great. And of course, it was a very packed studio, not quite as handsome as this one, nor as expansive. And I said to Frankie, he said, what do you want me to do? I said, listen, see that there? We can use that as a dump button.
Right.
Now, he said, what's that mean? I said, should we get into trouble? You utter a word that is not right, or there's a response that isn't supposed to be the response that goes out. I'll ask you to hit the button.
Hit the button, right.
And it'll clean that air and we'll start again.
Right.
He said, no worries. And, of course, 5 calls in, someone's rung up and didn't like what Frankie was saying.
Dropped the F-bomb.
And they've asked him to, why bother? And his retort was, you can go and get...
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
And I said... And I'm going in the background, Frankie, hit the button, hit the button. And he looks at me and says, what button? Of course, oh, yeah, you heard everything. And so Monday morning, yours truly and Glenn A. Baker had to front.
Oh, dear.
And that was the end of Frankie. We did another 8 weeks or 10 weeks of that show, and then Glenn got another gig, which meant that he wasn't available, and I decided that I was going to do other things.
So that was was that the end of a rather, hopefully, flourishing radio career, George?
No, I kept working in radio. I mean, I had the marvellous... The late, great Keith Graham, who always said to me, or indeed he said to Bruce Gingell, when Bruce came calling, Bruce said to him, we might use this guy for an audition on Saturday. How do you feel about him? He said, well, he's got a job for he's got a job here for life, but we think television may well be his strong suit. And he was very generous, and I went and did the audition, and Gingell said, you've got the job. And to show you how things were so different then, I had no idea what he was talking about when he said you got the job. Yeah. Because I didn't go to get a job as a news anchor. I went to find out if there was a role for me in this new television venture that was starting called Channel O. And even 28 hadn't been allotted to us yet. And the only reason we got UHF 28 to join Channel O was because in Sydney the signal strength was so poor. Yeah. So they said to us, look, not only will we give you O, you can use UHF 28.
Yeah,
and I said, UHF 28? Yeah. Ultra high frequency, no one knows about that. And lo and behold, we were right, and the wording soon became UHF ultra hard to find television SBS.
As it was the old gag goes, Nunawading is Aboriginal for low ratings.
Well, it was a whole world of people.
Now George, we have got...
so your source is very good, by the way.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks, Tiff. Donna Demaio is out and about in Melbourne again. This is our resident social butterfly, George.
Let me tell you, Donna Demaio. Her hit rate is fantastic.
Absolutely. We got Michael Klim last night.
Yes, exactly.
I wonder what about the Princess? Did you miss out on the Princess?
The Princess?
Yes. Mr. Klim's gorgeous half.
No.
The mother of the children.
Yes, I'm always a bit wary about mentioning. And how's the wife and kids? You haven't heard,
Oh, we're not in that part of the world, are we? Hollywood.
Donna, where are you?
We've frightened her.
Oh, obviously.
We've frightened her.
Gone to sleep somewhere.
Maybe she thinks there's a 10-second delay.
Yeah. All right, well, we might take a break and then we'll come back with more of Nightline and Donna Demaio and George Donikian. We know he's definitely here. It's 20. And by the way, if you want to have a chat with George, feel free. 96900 693. He won't bite.
No, I don't.
24.
No, I won't bite.
He'll give you a nasty suck, but he won't bite. It's like the watchdog with no teeth. You know what I'm saying? Yep. 24 past 8. Nightline. We're here with our special guest, George Donikian, and hopefully she's there, George. And
Donna Demaio.
Hi, Donna.
Oh, good evening, gentlemen, and it is an absolute personal thrill that George is there and I can get to chat to him live on the radio. Hey, George.
Miss Hollywood, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm actually, well, I'm more than okay. I'm sensational because I'm part of a very special evening. It's an event that happens annually in Melbourne and across the nation. And each major city around Australia hosts what they call the Supper Club. And it raises hundreds of thousands of dollars for Camp Quality. And if you're not familiar with Camp Quality, I'll just briefly tell you, it's this wonderful organisation that actually assists young children or children who are battling cancer and gives the family a lot of support as well. It's got these amazing programs, educational and recreational, and a lot of family support. So that's what Camp Quality is all about.
Yeah, it's got a marvellous name.
Well, and this event alone, which means that restaurants across Melbourne donate their time and all the food, and they host these tables where we just have a grand old time. Places like Ginger Boy, Taxi, Udimon.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like Eat Street.
It's just phenomenal. Yeah, it's spread right across the city. So this evening, about 800 people are participating.
Right.
Now, I'm at Saki, which is just tucked under Hamer Hall. This incredible Japanese restaurant. It's divine.
This is the newly refurbished Hamer Hall with all the facilities.
Yes.
Yes, and it's part of the revamp.
Yes.
But sitting next to me, waiting very, very patiently to talk to you guys, because he's an ambassador for Camp Quality, and he's a talented young man. I've just discovered he's actually very personable and a wonderful conversationalist, and keeping me entertained. But I think he's actually, well, you'll know him from a lot of places, but he's had his own show. He has been on Celebrity Splash. I don't know if that's going on his resume in the future or not.
I think his new nickname is Have a Chat.
But I'm going to pass the phone now to you boys,
Okay.
Josh Thomas, the comedian.
Oh, Josh Thomas. Hi, Josh.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
I'm very well. Now, listen, have you developed a suntan yet?
What do you mean?
Well, in all the group photos I see on Celebrity Splash, you stand out the most because you've got that little white body of yours.
Yeah, I'm very pale. Channel 7, they booked me in for a spray tan before the first. I just got a call from my manager saying, just so you know, Channel 7 booked you in for a spray tan, which is passive aggressive of them, isn't it?
Josh, I've got another question for you. It's George Donikian here. Are you standing up at the moment or sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
Because we could hardly ever get you to sit down on, the generational show that was making such an impact with Mr. McAuliffe.
Yeah, it's because you watch it on TV, right? It goes for an hour, but when you film it in the studio, it goes for 2 hours. I got bored.
Yeah, I know. I actually, Josh, I've done that show, and it's like they shoot it for about 5 hours, and you just spend a lot of time. And if you don't stand up and walk around, you're going to become very sedentary.
Otherwise, I fall asleep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now, Josh, you're there supporting a very good cause.
I'm a bit worried. I'm not sure this is a great idea, sending me to dinner and giving me lots of free alcohol and then getting me to a live cross on the radio. But so far, I seem together, don't I? I seem sober, right?
Yeah, very sober, yes.
Yeah. And we have a very special filter here, too.
Yeah, great.
So now,
it's sounding very good. You seem to be able to spray your worms correctly. It's not a problem.
Great, okay.
Oh, it's very good, yeah. Now, so Josh, you're not watching Celebrity Splash tonight? Or we shouldn't be flogging it because it's on in a minute, isn't it?
It's on in a minute, and I mean, do you want to promote it? I'm not sure. We've done quite a lot of it. I was there though. I was in the studio. It's pre-recorded, so I've seen it. I know what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, if you spill it now or spoil it, then no one will have to watch.
Exactly right.
Tell it like it is.
Celebrities take their clothes off and then jump almost
Right.
So, Josh, what did your agent say? What did you say when you actually got the call from Channel 7 as, hey, we've got this great show that we think Josh should be in? What did you do?
I said, how much are you going to pay me?
Seasoned professional.
Yeah, and they took quite a bit, and here we are.
Now, you're quite lucky because having the frame you've got, it would have been a lot easier for you to make a nice clean entry into the pool as opposed to someone like Denise Drysdale.
No, yeah. Oh, why being mean to Denise Drysdale? I think we should talk more about Camp Quality because they gave me this dinner and everything, and they're raising money. We should say nice things about them.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, but that's true. But I mean, Bryn Edelston, did you get to meet her? And what sort of a person is she, Josh?
I really love Bryn Edelston.
Yeah.
I like her a lot. I was surprised how much I really adore Bryn Edelston. Like, I get excited when I see Bryn Edelston now. She's really lovely.
Could you understand anything she said? Or
yeah, but I mean, I can hardly criticize someone for talking funny. That's not like...
Yeah. Oh, that's right, yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. And so what's next for you, Josh? Yeah. Same old, same old.
We're having king salmon, pan-seared Ora king salmon, white condor and enoki mushrooms attached with quinoa.
Oh, now you
party. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You be very careful. You might actually put on weight if you're not careful.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I had to lose weight for that show. I lost so much weight. And usually I'm pretty fat.
That's very funny. Anyway, listen, thanks, Josh, for taking time out from your very busy schedule to talk with us, and I'm sure you're looking forward to perhaps looking at yourself back when you get home.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All the very best, Josh.
All the best, Josh. That's Josh Thomas. He's a great guy. He's a delightful guy.
He's a lovely guy.
Gen Y. Gen Y,
yeah. That's the future of television, George.
That's the future of television.
Yeah. Skinny white kids.
That's right. Hang on. Does that sound like Back to the Future? Oh, right. Okay.
All right. Now, listen, you got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to hold them.
Right.
You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table because there's time enough for money when the dealing's done. Because every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. Best you can hope for is to die in your sleep. Now, Shirley, I'm hopefully someone will phone in and give you a few contacts.
Can I leave my phone number?
Yes, leave it with Kenny Boy out there. He loves taking phone numbers down. All right.
Good luck, Shirl. All the very best.
And that's, by the way, that's
Did you notice? It took him half a step and he was in.
Yeah, oh yes, and
Didn't
I have
miss
to
a
say
beat.
that's the worst Kenny Rogers impersonation I've heard, but still.
And I actually sometimes, when I used to go to the casino, I used to sit there at the blackjack table in a quiet moment. I used to recite that to myself, and I used to drive the croupier crazy.
Yeah, would do.
You mentioned channeling Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Heart Kids function at Keilor tomorrow night.
Right.
And it's called the Night of Nights. We've got a guy called Mark Andrew, who's with his sensational showgirls, who's actually going to channel Elvis.
Oh, is he?
So if you're a Presley fan, tomorrow night, Heart Kids Victoria, we're doing it and raising as much money as we can for them.
Now, Ken has seen this gentleman you referred to.
Mark.
Ken is whispering in our headphones. I'm going to channel Ken.
Oh, what channel? Where's that?
Ken.
Channel Ken. No, channel.
I'm on UHF.
Right.
Oh, UHF.
Mark Andrew.
Yeah.
Mark
His
Andrew.
entire act is nothing short of sensational.
He's like the.
There you go.
He's better than Elvis.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. I won't go that far because I'm a huge Presley fan.
Oh, that's good.
But he's that good, is he?
Yeah.
He is fantastic.
That's high praise coming from Ken.
My
too.
Friday night's just been made.
Now, George Donikian is our special Thursday night guest, replacing the guy that's normally on, who's sitting over here, where Bruce normally sits because he's on holidays. And where is Phil?
Are we playing musical chairs again?
Yes.
Simon, you didn't tell me any of this was going on.
No,
You just said, are you free Thursday night? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bit lax as a producer.
As you can see, we're not fussy. We'll take anybody. But I'm just wondering, where is Phil? Because he gave me this book, this
Probably
brochure.
Istanbul.
No, but I mean, there's about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, there's about 14 tours. Is he on the Exodus journey?
Could be. What are some of the others?
The St. Paul expedition, is he on that one? No. The
no.
Graces of France?
No.
This is from
I
Harvard.
think he's on the River Rhine, isn't he?
No, I don't think so. This is from
Not this time round.
This is from a brochure called Harvest Pilgrimages, escorted journeys along sacred paths. So is he on the Grace?
He could be in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. In Jerusalem, perhaps.
Well, he may be.
Either that or Coburg. I'm not
Anyway, but Phil is overseas, of course, and he's having a wonderful time there, doing his best to make sure he gets into heaven when he dies. George, you need to turn your microphone on. You should know. I mean, I'm looking at your CV, and you are no stranger to radio. At 4 a.m. in North Queensland,
Did
when
you
we
do-
started.
Did you do research?
Oh, just hit Google, Wikipedia.
What happens if Google's ever wrong, eh? That's my favourite. I should have it on a T-shirt.
I have a feeling you might have actually done this Wikipedia entry yourself.
Really?
Oh, because
How's my spelling?
The exceedingly handsome George Donikian is WL in Wollongong.
Yeah, WL. It's now Wave FM.
Yeah. Oh no, it's all. That's, yeah,
No, it's moved past that, hasn't it?
WS in
2WS.
yeah, 5
With Mike Webb. He was the program manager in those days.
Yeah, and you did talkback radio on 5AA in Adelaide.
Yes, and also in 2GB in Sydney with John Tingle. I was the fill-in for John Tingle.
The late John Tingle.
The late John Tingle.
Yes. And of course, you covered the Athens Olympics for Melbourne in 2004.
Yeah, I did, absolutely. And the World Cup in 1990.
Was it for 3AW, the 2004 Olympics?
I did it for the other frequency modulation people.
And of course, your last presentation on SBS World News Australia.
Yes.
What year was that, do you reckon?
I reckon it was 1988.
And who succeeded you?
Mary Kostakidis.
You see, I was wondering how you were going to say her surname.
Kostakidis. I could go Kostakidis, and Oakley would just go, "You beauty, he's one of us." Or I could go Kostakidis. Yes.
Now, we've had a question on our Facebook page.
Which for George?
Yes, it's for George, and it's from Mel. It's not really a question to George.
From Mel? Is it Mel Walden?
Mel Walden?
No, M-E-L.
Mel. Oh, right.
Mel. As in Mel and Koshi, I guess. Mel Buttons has asked.
Yep.
Does George still have his mo?
Well, there you go.
Does he ever?
And a little
goatee.
And a little extra.
Can I get a photo and I'll whack it?
Yeah, you can. Here you go.
Here we go. There we go.
Oh,
Isn't it
smooth.
marvellous?
It's a fantastic technology. You'll love it, haven't you?
He knows how to pose for photos.
That photograph I put of you up on my Facebook site to tell everybody you were on 3AW tonight, and you look so handsome, and you look as though you're engaging your audience, and you look as though you know exactly where that camera is.
No, that's the hallmark of a great camera person, a photographer by the name of Jimmy Lee, who you know very well.
Yes,
Jimmy was at the International Winemakers Dinner at the Arts Centre. Yeah. Lena O'Brien had said to me, "Jimmy's going to be taking photos, so just enjoy yourself." And we had a fantastic array of talent there that night, and some wonderful guests from around the world, and they loved it.
Prefer if you actually didn't let Jimmy know that I'm using copyright photo.
Okay,
right.
It's between you and I.
No, you sure that was taken by Jim Lee?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Anybody's.
Got a bulldog?
No, you were Fitzroy, weren't you?
Yeah, I used to be Fitzroy, but I'm just a trollop now. I barrack for everybody.
Bert Newton was Fitzroy, and it would never change. Never change.
No, well, I changed when they sent them up to Brisbane.
Well, he didn't.
No.
And I'd say to him, "Come on, mate, you're missing out on premiership after premiership after premiership."
Well,
and he said, "I'm a Fitzroy boy."
Yeah, that's right. The Fitzroy Bert and I supported would never have won a three-peat premiership. Don't you worry about that, mate. But anyway,
seconds away from posting the photo of George I've just taken on our Facebook page. So.
Now, listen, just in case anybody's listening, George's wife is in New York at the moment. Would that be correct?
Yes, New York.
Your lovely wife, Di.
Yes, Diane.
Did she only marry you?
Diane, though.
No. Did she only marry you because she'd be known as Di Donikian, or does she keep her?
She doesn't. No, she keeps her own name. Professional reasons for it. But you wouldn't believe this. Can you? How's this for a story?
Yeah.
When Di was working at Country Road, she used to dress Steve Izard to play George Donikian on Fast Forward.
Really?
And can you believe she's ended up marrying the real one? George Donikian, I mean.
And I tell you what, you are punching way above your weight.
Well, and you know that.
Yeah, I know. She is gorgeous.
And let me tell you, I just smile most days of the week, as they say in the storybooks.
Look, there she is. Check that out, Simon.
Oh, she is.
We'll put that up on Facebook.
No way. I'm not allowed to put any photos of my wife on Facebook.
Well, actually, funnily enough,
is like banned.
Well, Cecile the other day had a photograph taken of her, looked beautiful in this beaded top that Sally Brown had been beading for 3 years, and it was a lovely photograph, and I've stuck it up on Facebook. She said, "What's that doing there?"
Take it off.
Yeah, take it off.
Only because she wasn't wearing pants.
Oh, well,
no. When we worked with Graham Kennedy, Graham used to do the show without his trousers.
Yes.
But he used to have a proper support, as they say, looking after things. And he used to walk past us. We're stuck in the makeup chair, and he'd walk past me and say, "Donikian, a good show is a quick show. Let's move it." And I could see this man half dressed. I go, "You're not dressed properly." And that was just Graham setting the scene and getting us all to focus.
Was there a thong thing happening around the back?
Yes. But remember, it wasn't for everybody to see, because it was a courtesy screen.
Yes.
And the whole gag was lined up so the cameraman could be terrified all night and focus on every movement and gesture.
George, take us through the chronology of Graham's on-air partners for Australia across, what's it called?
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast.
Well, there was only the two.
There was only... There was
you.
No, yeah. I actually... Well, hang on.
Just a second, Simon.
I just arrived at Channel 9 from SBS and wanted to do the late night news.
Right.
Sam Chisholm said to me, it'll be yours in a few weeks. We're just getting a few things lined up. While that was going on, Graham came.
Ah, right.
And Graham suddenly rang me up one day and he said, I want you to work for me. I said, sorry? I'm waiting for the late show to start.
Well, yeah.
Did he say,
I want you to be my driver? No, he didn't.
No, he wanted me to work for him. Right. And I got the feeling that he wanted me to be the second banana, and of course I was terrified.
As it would be, yeah.
I was anchor man, yeah. Not that funny at that time. Well, these days I reckon I should have, again, one of those great decisions I didn't take, like Sorrell's.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I was terrified. I wanted to maintain my so-called news cred. Didn't last long anyway. But then they brought the one guy that Nine had at the time, who'd been at Channel 9 for about 11 years, Sutcliffe, Kenny Sutcliffe. And right. Kenny wanted to do Wide World of Sports, but Sam said to him, you don't have a profile. Well, here's how life works beautiful things.
So they were just
he said
Graham
yes to Graham.
Yeah, right.
He worked 12 weeks, the first 12 weeks. Yep. Right? Made this fantastic impact with Graham because Graham made him cry every night. Yes. You follow? And people loved that wonderful, honesty and warmth that was generated by Kenny. Kenny eventually left to do Wide World of Sports. And I had joined halfway through that to be their news anchor with a promise that no one would interfere with my news.
Yes.
Until?
Well, that never existed. He interfered all the time, every time. Yeah. And he would talk to you while, because you have an earpiece, even through every broadcast. But it was a great testing ground. Yeah. It was a fabulous exercise. And I'm glad I went through it. It was fantastic. Yeah. And then, of course, Johnny Mangos stepped up.
Yeah, right. So there was you, Sutcliffe, and Mangos. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And you and I were, or Mangos and I were the calamari kids.
Now, did the floor manager ever give you the sign?
No, never.
We're giving it to you. It's and George. Oh, look at the time. It's 1.5 minutes to 9.
Time for us to say goodbye.
Just enough time to say goodbye. Thanks for filling the breach.
Can I very quickly throw in though on our Facebook page? We'll put that photo of George Donikian up on our Facebook page.
Yes.
Already a fan has lusted onto it and posted comment. Looking good there, Georgie boy.
That could be my brother.
Thanks, Paul.
Yes, Paul. That's right. Yeah. Well, you can get in touch with Di in New York and say, this is me working at 3AW.
Skype. Let's talk.
Do you actually Skype?
Yeah, we do.
You do?
Absolutely.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, I can't believe that I'm living in this age where you can physically do things like this.
Yeah, because, not that long ago, none of it existed.
And you imagine, like 20 years from now, imagine what they'll be doing. I mean, I'll be probably dead by
John,
then.
35 years ago, we actually did the news half a day earlier. Today, it's real-time news.
Yeah,
you have no time to check anything.
Exactly.
It's just, let's go.
All right, and talking about let's go.
On the go.
It's time for you to go,
I'm out of
George.
here.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
We
have
really
a great night.
It. George Donikian here live on Nightline on 3AW for your Thursday night entertainment. Thanks for filling in for me, George. Very shortly, the